Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So as you may know, I'm an avid fan of Sephora's VIB sale every year. I do have a Rouge card and I wait and I wait and I list and finally I do a huge haul that I always feature on my channel, and I know it's a popular one with you guys because many of you do the same. I also know many of us are waiting very intently for the sale and then we shop very quickly, and so there's always a bit of a rush for me to get that video up. What I thought I would do this year for two reasons is do a Sephora favorites where I feature all of my favorite items, holy grail items that I would rush out and replace immediately if my makeup was lost, because I think they're the best I've ever used. And I really wanted to make this video for that reason, to share what my ultimate favorites are, because some of these products aren't ones that I use up that routinely, like eyeshadow. They wouldn't even feature in the Sephora haul, and so it's just a nice way to make a list of what I think all of the best do not miss items are for the Sephora sale and get to share those. So it basically means that the Sephora sale is going to end up being a bit of a series for my channel. So I'm going to do this video, I'm going to do my big huge haul as soon as I can. I do it the first day that I can shop. I always try and get it up very quickly, so do subscribe if you want to see that haul. And then after that I usually do a tutorial kind of sharing how everything looks and what my favorites are. Let's get right into it. It is not just makeup but also other categories, so make sure you watch till the end if you're interested in skincare. But we're going to start with face products. So this product is a nice one to start with because it made a skeptic into a primer user. I'm not a primer person, I've never really believed in them, but when I tried this, lost it, and then stopped using it, I really noticed that my makeup wasn't looking as smooth anymore without it. So it's the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. If the packaging looks weird to you, it's because I am such a big fan of it that I got the super size tube. So I'll link both down below as well as everything else that I mentioned. But it's just very smoothing. If you have any little wrinkles, little expression lines, I find that it really helps to conceal those underneath your makeup, make everything really nice and smooth and just nicely blurred. And if you have a little bit of oiliness to your skin, I have combination skin, it's also a really good one for that, I find. And then basically in conjunction with that, for the last 2+ years I've been using this BB cream as my everyday foundation. I would say it's light to medium coverage, but you can build it up really easily with a beauty blender if you want. Sometimes I do that for special occasions, and my color is the lightest one. The only fault with this line is the lack of tint selection, but if there is a tint that works for your skin, I highly recommend trying this one. I know it says acne solutions on it, but you do not have to have acne to use it. I do find, however, that my skin never breaks out when I use it. It just really wears beautifully throughout the day. It never separates. It looks very natural, just like skin, and looks especially good under bright, unflattering office lighting, which is one of the reasons that I have kept going back to it for so long. And this must be my fourth or fifth one of these, and I will definitely be picking up at least one or two in the Sephora VIB sale. Now that said, it is lighter to medium coverage, so what I like to do in the morning and then throughout the day, if I find that I do need any powdering, is to use a powder that has some coverage. The Kat Von D Lock-It Powder Foundation is one of the most velvety, just natural looking powder foundations I've ever used. It does remind me a little bit of the MAC Studio Fix, but I think it's better and more finely milled, and it never ever looks cakey despite adding a good amount of coverage to wherever you apply it. So I definitely focus it on my T-zone, and it definitely helps to mattify my skin as well. I have one of these on my vanity, and I also have one of them in my makeup bag, so I carry it with me at all times, which tells you how much I love it. Next up is definitely one that I will be repurchasing in the Sephora VIB sale, and it speaks for itself. Do I really even need to say anything about this product. I feel like everyone knows it, but for a while I forgot about it, and then I bought a new one and it reminded me why it's such a favorite. It is the NARS Laguna Bronzer. Now they do have the sun washout ones now, which I have tried. I purchased one for the summer. It is nice as well, but this one offers way more pigmentation but is still really blendable. So while I did like the sun wash, I'll be repurchasing this one because I just think you get a lot more bang for your buck out of it. It has a little tiny bit of glow to it, but not too much. If you're super fair like me, it can basically be used to contour very lightly. I'm not much of a contour person, so this kind of fills that void for me and adds a little tiny bit of color to my skin, so I'm not quite so washed out in the fall and winter months. While I may not be much of a contour person, I am a highlighter person, so I definitely completely fall into the hype of the Becca highlighters. This is the infamous Champagne Pop, and while it is a little bit gold, you can see it's like a really pretty kind of champagne gold. I find that it looks so natural on my skin and really gives me a beautiful glow in photos, and so I really love Champagne Pop for more of that like over the top highlight, and I've used it a lot. Definitely getting to be time for a repurchase. A few months ago I also decided to try Opal, which is great for fair skin shade wise. I love how much selection they have, and the pigmentation, fine milling, lack of chunkiness, and just overall wear of the Becca highlighters makes me just go back to them over and over. So I really like Opal as well for everyday wear. It's a little bit more subtle because it's more of a cool tone than Champagne Pop is. One of the exciting things that's happened over the last year or so is that Sephora online now carries all Tom Ford makeup, meaning that you can now get the VIB discount on it. So I cannot tell you how excited I am. I do have 3 products from Tom Ford in this Holy Grail Sephora products video, and I have to say it is one of my favorite lines. I think if you're gonna go for one of the pricier lines at Sephora, it's one of the best. And so you can see I've got 2 blushes here that are very different from each other, but overall I do just think that there's something special about the blush line because it's so finely milled and pigmented, but when you blend it, it's like it just blends into the skin and creates a very subtle flush with no effort. A lot of other blushes will take a lot more blending in my experience. So for something like over a year straight, I used Frantic Pink from the line. It's a really subtle one, so it doesn't leave really any visible blush. It just gives your skin a healthy glow. I love it. And because I loved it so much and I wanted something that was a little bit more kind of like visibly flushed, I tried Wicked, and I love it just as much. You can see it's got a little bit of red in it, but it's like a medium pink. I think this one especially would look good on everyone, on any skin tone. It would really show up, but still be really effortless. So I love these blushes so much. I think they are really worth the money because they last forever. So eyeshadow and blush are places that are really I think good places to spend a little bit more money because they last forever and you can really use them up and get a lot out of them. And now we can move on to eyes, one of my favorite categories, because on the daily I do play up my eyes more than my lips, I would say. So these are the products that I use literally every day. I'm just showing you pretty much like my daily makeup bag essentials. What I always start with is the NARS primer. It's just clear, it doesn't look like anything. You only need a tiny dab, and this allows my eyeshadow to last through the sweatiest of cardio workouts, even through spin. I do not have any creasing whatsoever after, and I have to say it must be due to this product because the shape of my eyelids actually is very prone to creasing. So ever since I've started using that, I've never had creasing again. It's like it completely removed a problem from my makeup routines. For eyeshadows, here we go, Tom Ford again. I have 2 palettes from Tom Ford that I'm obsessed with. If you were to only get one palette, I feel like I'm the anti-beauty guru here because I'm suggesting something that's so boring and it's only got 4 colors instead of 120 like most of the hauls I think are going to feature from the Sephora VIB sale. So I know this seems really boring. I think it's the best neutral palette that I have ever used. It's perfect for like daily wear to work. So this is Cocoa Mirage. It's the color 03. It's 3/4 matte, and then the fourth one is this really rich cocoa kind of brown. It's like a medium brown, perfect for the crease or on the eyelid, and it has a hint of shimmer to it, just a little bit of gold running through it, and I'm just obsessed. I'm wearing this on my eyes today. Very neutral looks, nothing that's going to revolutionize your makeup look, but there's something, again, like with the blushes, that is so buttery and barely there to the shadows once you've blended them in like 2 seconds. That makes it truly special in my opinion. If you're not a matte person and you like kind of more taupey shades, I also got Orchid Haze, and I especially love the lightest color here. I'm actually wearing it on the inner eye corners in almost all my videos because it's just really brightening and makes me look really awake, so I love that. And if you're, you know, not really a matte person but more into shimmers, I think this one has all the qualities of Cocoa Mirage that I really like. It's just like such a great basic. I do think that this, although it has been very appreciated in online tutorials, everybody talks more about the Naked palettes from Urban Decay than about this Too Faced Natural palette, and I think this would especially make like an amazing gift for someone because it's so pretty. It's like lace and it has like all these different shades in it, so it has a little bit more opportunity to experiment than the Tom Ford, and it's just also really excellent quality, so I reach for this one a lot as well. I also bring it a lot to travel because you can create a lot of different neutral looks with it. Out of the 9 shadows, like, if you really just don't need anything else, it's really a great palette. Perfect pigmentation, really blendable as well. Just love. Between those 3 palettes, if I'm being honest, I really don't ever use anything else. The only other thing that I like to reach for, especially for evening events, any kind of events where there's going to be flash or evening lighting, is something to add a glow to my eyes called Original, and it's just one of those single eyeshadows that I think is really worth it. The other one is Kitten from Stila, which is like this but more warm toned, and it broke on me because it does have a tendency to do that. I'm probably going to repurchase another one in the Sephora sale, but having a shadow like this, and basically what I do is I just go ahead and rub my finger in it and then just tap it on the center and inner corner of the eye on top of like an already finished eye look, and it just illuminates everything. It makes me look less tired, it makes me look just like twinkle-eyed, you know, everything good about doing eye makeup. This just kind of illuminates even more and takes it to the next level. And for eyes, these are my 3 must-have products. So for brows, I use 2 products that I always repurchase when it comes to VIB time. One of them is the Anastasia powder. I really love this. It's just really taupey and it blends in and it really makes everything last. I stopped using this for a while because I discovered the Tom Ford Brow Sculptor. If you are into low maintenance brows and you just want to use one thing, as a lot of people I know do, like my mom is like that, you just want one product, then you need this because it really just kind of sets your brows. It helps you define the shape, it'll fill anything in, it's angled, it's just perfect. Everything about it is perfect. The shade selection is perfect. I use espresso. Then you brush through your eyebrows. Then what I do is I take a little stiff boar brush, I use the lighter shade, and I just lightly go over the work that I've done with the Tom Ford. I know it's a 2-stepper, probably a lot of you don't want to do that every single day, but for me it's a must because it takes my sparse blah eyebrows into just something that is much more defined. It makes me look so much more awake. It just really makes my makeup look, and it's something that I've just started doing every day, and I think it makes a big difference. The other thing that I really wanted to mention in this video is my Hypnose mascara from Lancôme, which is an oldie but a goodie. Normally all about the Maybelline The Rocket. A mascara has to be really special for me to splurge and stray from that, but this one I have to say is really excellent. It has an old school brush, a really nice glossy formula, and there's something about the formula and the brush together that fans out my lashes and makes me look like I have twice as many than I would otherwise. I just really love it. I also love the wear of it, so it never flakes. This will serve to answer many of the questions I get about what's on my lips in my videos. I try to always remember to list it in the info bar, but for those of you who may wonder from like Instagram photos or anything, it's definitely always one of these four. One of the reasons that I don't create a lot of content about beauty, and this season where the VIB sale happens is one of the ones where you'll see more beauty content from me, is that as much as I love makeup products, I rarely stray from them if I've found something that I adore. So these ones are it. Pretty much for lips, they're like what I use all the time. The first one is Bite. This is a natural lipstick line. They are more buttery than almost any other line that I've ever tried. Very moisturizing if you have dry lips. I have chronically dry lips. These are the ones that I reach for when I feel like my lips are not in a good state. So this is the color Pepper. I also really like Beetroot, which is much darker and one that I use more almost as a stain. But this one is just like a true your lips but better kind of shade. It's just like medium neutral. It's definitely more on the plummy kind of side, but it's got a little bit of brownie pink in it. It makes it really easily wearable. It goes with everything, any makeup look, it doesn't matter. It will look good with, and I've also found that it looks really, really good in photos as well. The other one that I've been harping on about for years is the YSL Tint in Oil. This is like a gloss when it goes on and then it fades to a stain, which I think makes it really unique. If you are just so tired of the matte lips look, then I think this will be a really beautiful product to refresh your routine with. It's also very moisturizing. So this is the red one. I also have the pink one and the peach one in my desk at work. My all-time favorite lipstick shade that I think everyone should own because I think it looks good on everyone, and it's what I'm wearing on my lips right now, lightly blotted, is the Rouge Pure Couture. So this shade in particular, it's like a brick red. It's the easiest to wear red, really the only red I end up wearing on a regular basis. You can see how beaten up this tube is. It's horrible. I feel like I need to buy another one from the VIB sale so that I can have one at home and have one at work or in my bag as well. Again, the whole line is great, so although this is my standout favorite shade, I also really love the nude one. So this is the color 07. I feel like, if I remember correctly, online this color looks really weird, but just trust me, in person it is a nude that you can actually wear without looking weird in the daytime. Especially, I feel like a lot of nude lipsticks, they look good on camera, they look good in YouTube tutorials, but they're just so hard to wear as soon as you go for something that's lighter than your natural lip tint. So with all of that said, we are now into the bonus non-makeup section of this video that I hope you guys will forgive me for including, but I do often shop for non-makeup items as well in the VIB sale. So the first thing I'm going to mention is the one hair product that I think is really, really worth it from Sephora. There are other products that I use, but this is the one that I always make sure to repurchase in the VIB sale, and it is the Living Proof Prime Style Extender. What this is, in my opinion, is really a replacement for hair serum. So you use it on very wet hair and then you comb it through, and you need about a dollar-sized amount, not much at all, so that a whole tube will last me about a year. And what it does is it seals the ends of your hair, it helps to protect it, and for me especially, given that I live in Vancouver, if I have this in my hair and it gets rained on, instead of ending up here, from here to here, my hair will only poof out, I'd say, like about this far. And then I can brush through it, and while some of the shape and styling may be lost, it won't frizz like crazy and look like a frizz ball. One of the things I discovered, I think in last year's VIB sale, was the Sunday Riley Good Jeans. This is the big tube. I wish I had purchased that in the VIB sale, but I quickly used up my first lot of it in the small size, and then I got the bigger one. and this is a lactic acid treatment that's really a serum, so it goes underneath your moisturizer and it really helps to resurface your skin overnight. This is one of those products where you will see a difference from using it once or twice. It's quite potent, and I really enjoy that because my skin congests very easily. I used to have acne when I was younger, and although I'm mostly over it, I still get small breakouts or little, you know, whiteheads and things on occasion, and this really helps to solve that in the matter of like a day or two whenever I feel like I have that. I'd say I use it maybe once or twice a week. Expensive, but at least you see a difference. You know, it's not one of those products where you wonder if it's doing anything. This one, you know. On the more affordable side, and something that I also really recommend for guys, Joe uses this to help prevent any kind of ingrown hairs and things like that, is the First Aid Beauty Facial Radiance Pads. These have a nubbly texture, so they are physical as well as chemical exfoliator, and I use these almost every day. Sometimes I even use both. And these are so gentle that for my skin type at least, I don't react to it. I don't get redness, I don't get anything bad, but it really helps to clear, exfoliate, smooth, prevent dryness, all of those things. You guys have heard me talk about this so much. You're probably rolling your eyes right now if you've seen a lot of my videos, but maybe you haven't. Maybe you wonder what I use for moisturizer because I haven't mentioned it for a while. This is the Shiseido Bio Performance. My mom bought me my first one. It's the same cream that she uses. I think all I need to say is it is my daily night cream, and if I fail to use this for even one night, let's say I'm traveling or something and I don't bring a little one with me, I immediately notice a difference in the plumpness of my skin when I wake up, and that fact will keep me going back to it over and over. And so the Sephora VIB sale is a good time to buy it because it's pricey. I have to mention the commodity fragrance line. You have access to so many different perfumes to choose from in the VIB sale. My 2 cents are to at least check out this line because I think it's really something special. It's like a more affordable version of Byredo to some extent. They have some really interesting scents. This is bulk. You can see I've still got a lot of it, so I'm obviously not going to buy one. But this scent is like afternoon tea in a perfume. And I also really love moss and wool, and I'm going to check out to see if there are any other scents that I love, and if there aren't, I probably will buy either wool or moss in, probably I'll buy the roller balls again for when I travel, but I may buy it in full size. If you have any must purchase holy grail products, please share in the comments down below so that we can all be enlightened by your wisdom. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to do a follow-up with my huge bag. I can almost feel the lifting up of it for the thumbnail shot. It's always a heavy one, and so I hope to see you guys in that video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next installment on Style. Bye!